Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rekakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's your fellow servant Yahawah from the GMS Orlando camp. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to you all, okay? And real quick, wanted to touch on Proverbs 17:17, man. It's been on my mind. It's been on the spirit. Okay. And me and the brothers, over here in Ocala, man, we've been through some things as other brothers that are all around, man. And you know, adversity teaches you who's really with you. Okay. And as of not too long ago, one of the camp leaders, from GMS Orlando, man, the brother Nalia, man, we went through a time where, it was beautiful that the Lord was showing all brethren, that the Lord is, you know, setting men up around them that's going to be able to stand on that battlefield, of course, with time, with time and time, proven time, that, it's, other things still have to happen and to show that, a brother is born amongst you. But, those are the steps, man. And, Thawadi Abashmi Shine for giving us these insights, and these brothers, the brotherhood, because all in all, when shit hits the fan, you don't want to be in Jacob's trouble alone, okay? Even though we have this walk alone, we still have the body of Yahawashi, okay? And the body of Yahawashi is fitly together so that everybody, can benefit. Let me grab this real quick. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17, man. It's just beautiful how it happened. I'm not going to get deep into it, but just know, brothers were, suffering together. Brothers were, even if it wasn't considered suffering of brothers, it was a time of inconvenience. It was a time of adversity. And brothers stuck it out. Brothers stayed in the pocket. The Wadi Abashmi Shah. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. This is King James Version. This is a friend loveth at all times. Okay? And a brother is born for adversity, man. Okay? Let me write this real quick. NLT version. A friend is always loyal. Right. You ain't gonna have no friend half stepping and he calling himself your friend, man. No. He's gonna be loyal to you all the time, through the hard times, through the good times, through the easy times, through the tough times, all of it. All right. A friend is loyal, is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in time of need, man. Okay. A brother is born to help in time of need. It kind of reminds me of, King David and Jonathan. Okay, King Saul's son. Okay, in that time of trouble, Jonathan was there, and he went against the house of Saul. Because he was of the house of David, man. And the Lord joined them together, and the Lord, showed that, that this scripture right here, is just true. Okay. And a brother is born for adversity, man. So in these times, because we're in Babylon the Great. Okay. We're in Babylon the Great. And a lot of shit get hard. And brothers, the Lord is pushing brothers to step up to, cover each other. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah, Salaki, I'm a little under the weather. But I just wanted to get up and get this done. It's been on my spirit. All right, let me grab some precepts real quick. Salaki. It says 1 John chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. Beloved, let us love one another, because love comes from Yahawah. Everyone who loves has been born of Yahawah and knows Yahawah. Whoever does not love does not know Yahawah, because Yahawah is love. Okay? And it's that type of love amongst the brotherhood, man, amongst the body. I'm not talking about the love the world. Talking about, somebody, 1 second. That love that JC loves everybody. No, that's not the love he's talking about. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient, okay? You got a brother, and the Lord is also, when he put a lot of brothers around each other, he's also giving brothers experience on, experience and how to deal amongst the body. Okay, how to be patient. Some brothers might, need to work on that. Okay, but hey, all in all, brothers is, the Lord is tapping into that, man. So brothers can have all of that, man. All right, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. Okay, you got a brother in the camp that's selfish, and he's selfish all the time. Okay, that's self-seeking, man. That's not fruits. That's not fruits of the spirit. It is not easily angered, right? It keeps no account of wrongs. Love takes no pleasure in evil, but rejoices in the truth. Okay, and this is the beauty of it, man. This is why you have this side of the scriptures. Okay, this is why you have this side of the scriptures, man. Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Outdo yourselves in honoring one another, man. See, hey, a lot of Jake in the world. This is why we got to do with the 2/3, man. Because it's always what you could do for me. What you could do for me. No, man. Brothers is in the spirit of, nah, let me take care of that, man. Let me do it. Let me take care of that. Let me take care of that. Let me take care of that. And it's a just balance because you can't just have one brother taking care of everything. All right. But that spirit's supposed to be on brothers, to be able to evenly balance, that love. Okay. And that's how you know you amongst true brethren. Okay. That's one of the key signs. Romans chapter 12, verse 10, be devoted to one another and brotherly love. And it says devoted, okay? All right? Outdo yourselves in honoring one another, okay? And I like that. I like that there. It says outdo yourselves. Jake in the world is not pushing, okay, to outdo you in goodness. Okay? They're not pushing to outdo. They're not pushing to outdo yourself, outdo the next man and honoring and honoring them, man. Okay, Jake ain't about that. Jake is selfish. Okay, yeah, as your father the devil. They got that shit from Esau, man. Okay, all right. 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. By this we know what love is. Yahawashi laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers, man. Okay, so as we go through turbulence and mishaps, and the Lord is showing us that the body is growing together. Okay, because it's bigger than your problems. It's bigger than that, man. Okay, the Lord is showing you who's on the battlefield with you, man. The Lord is showing you who's going to be there for you. Okay, and that's one of the biggest lessons we can ever learn in this truth, pushing towards Jacob's trouble. Okay, all right. Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Mashiach, man. Okay. And what was that law? It says, love thy brother as thyself. Love thy neighbor, Salakia. Roughly paraphrasing, okay? It also says, if you have loved your brother, you have fulfilled the law. Roughly paraphrasing, and not so many words. Colossians, and it's a reason why, a lot of these were written from Apostle Paul, okay, and Apostle Paul and Apostle Peter, Salakia Peter. All right. Okay, because Apostle Paul was dealing with, churches amongst different, different provinces, different, different, how would you say it, different areas, okay? Different churches in different locations, okay? Like Ephesus, okay? That was a church in itself, all right? Galatia, that was a church in itself, all right? And it had a body of believers, okay? But it's not just, follow Yahawashi, follow Yahawah. It's also things within that Yahawashi embodied that we got to come in the same like-mindedness of, okay? And that's right here what the Galatians 6:2 verse saying, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Hamashiach. Okay, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing one another in love. It's like y'all can. Okay. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. And I heard the apostles bring this out before: two are better than one. Right. You get jammed up. You don't want to be the only one there. Okay. Because they have a good return for their labor. For if one falls down, his companion can lift him up. But pity the one who falls without another to help him up, man. Okay. For the brothers that don't have brothers around them. Okay. For the brothers that's out there by themselves, man. Maybe the Lord got you going through some things, and he's soon going to bring you a brother. Okay. You know, pray. Hey, what is it? Pray for labors. Pray for labors because, because roughly paraphrase, because, the vineyard is the work is plenteous, but the work is plenteous, but the labor is few. Okay. So you got to pray for more brethren. Okay. You out there by yourself. Okay. All right. But yeah, man, wanted to jump here and say that, man, because it's much more than, knowing the breakdowns and knowing all these deep breakdowns and all these deep mysteries, man. Of course, that's part of the program, but we constantly forget, that this body of Yahawashi has got to fit jointly together, and the joints have to be oiled up, so that way they can work together smoothly. Okay. So, yeah, so, I'm going to grab this in this CSB. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a difficult time, man. Okay? So, hey, coming towards the end, we've always said America's not going to be great ever again. It's going towards the end of the cliff, and it's going to fall. Within that, hey, we're caught in the midst of it. Well, the Lord's going to deliver us ultimately. But while we're caught in the midst of it, we ought to look out for each other, man. Okay, we ought to look out for each other and bear each other's burdens. Brother going through something, of course with balance, man. Some lessons have to be taught, some lessons have to be taught from the Lord Yahawashi to build that person's character. Well, but you should have the spirit to be able to judge, okay, when that time is and when that time isn't, okay. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to jump on here and say that, man, because we recently, the brothers over here, we recently had, a small convenience, and the brother was able to see, man. He had plenty of brothers out there with him, man. It was beautiful, man. It was a great night, So, yeah, man, I just wanted to say that, man, all these little scriptures right here in the cut, Proverbs, they hit hard, man, okay? Because Jake is not willing to die for their neighbor, okay? Jake is not going to lay down their life, okay? For righteousness, they're not. It's just, it's something you can't teach. It's got to be within you. As the brother Malachi say, it's got to be in you, man, okay? A lot of people don't got that spirit, man, and those are the fruits, okay? Let me grab that real quick. The fruit. Okay, Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. All right, let me read up. And I'm going to get a different version, Baba Kasha. All right. Okay. Hold on. That was, okay, it was 16. It's like, verse 16. Okay, where's that? A tree and its fruits. Okay. Let's start at 15. It says, beware of the false prophets, teachers who come to you dressed as sheep, appearing gentle. Because what the scriptures say, you loving your brother with all gentleness. Okay? You're not looking to get anything out of your brother. But guess what? Look, check this out. Appearing gentle and innocent, right? But inwardly are ravenous wolves, right? They want something from you, man. They want to see what they can get out of you, man, and dry you up. By their fruit you will recognize them. That is, by their contrived doctrine and self-focus, right? Okay, what does the scripture say? Outdo one another in honoring each other. Okay? A false prophet ain't finna outdo you in honoring you. Trust that. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Even so, every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the unhealthy tree bears bad fruit. And that's the fucking wicked ass Jake in the ministry. Okay? Also, outside the ministry, man. That's selfless. This is fucking selfless, man. And we hate to have that spirit around, man. Okay? Because that stops brotherly love from abounding. You might have a brother that's, on fire with that brotherly love, looking out for one another, And you get one of the motherfuckers that like that. We had an example of the grifter. Okay, that make brothers want to stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, brothers get back on track once that disease has been removed. But that kind of stuns brother in the spirit, man. That stuns brother. Okay, it's like, damn, this whole time, man, I've been laboring amongst this dude, and he been using me, man. Okay, that's why you have, a bunch of brothers, man. Yeah, that's why you have the whole body of Yahawashi to, everybody's going to be able to judge righteous judgment, to be able to, help you out, If it's just you and that brother, you should ask questions to other brothers, okay? All right? But the unhealthy tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit, okay? It don't work like that. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down, and we've seen that through time and time, man, okay? And thrown into the fire, all right? Therefore, by their fruit, you will recognize them as false prophets. All right? Let me read on. Verse 21. Not everyone who says, this is the AMP version, okay? Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day when I judge them, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and driven out demons in your name, and done many miracles in your name? And then I would declare to them publicly, I never knew you. Depart from me. You are banished from my presence. Ooh, you who act wickedly, disregarding my commands. Right. It says right here, it says, having not cast out devils, having not prophesied, That's showing you that it's much more than that, man. Okay, it's much more than that. You got to be able to, deal in the body of Yahawashi, man. It was much more than just a breakdown, okay? So, yeah, man, I wanted to grab that, and that's pretty much it, family. So, with that, I'm going to say Shalom, call on Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Kakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, man. Lord, what is lesson was edifying to so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, call on Yahawashi.